Oh, if you're still here, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'd kindly ask you to please leave a rating. Likes and dislikes are appreciated. They tell me exactly how I'm doing. As well, please leave a comment with some constructive criticism. I love reading it. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye. Hello everybody, and welcome to the second episode of Redstone with the Loon, where today we will be showcasing, making a tutorial of, and explaining the redstone behind the HyperSpeed PIston Double Extender array you see in front of you. Now, you might be wondering what a HyperSpeed Double Piston Extender is, and I made it up. But I'll tell you all the rules that these piston extenders have to follow in order for them to qualify as hyperspeed, so let's get on with it. Rule number 1. All pistons must extend as fast as they possibly can without using zero-tick pulses. And rule number 2. Pistons must extend using the shortest monostable possible that isn't zero-tick, in this case, redstone repeater piston block 1. Yeah. And now that you know the rules, I say we get right to the showcase. Okay guys, so first we're going to be taking a look at the downwards double piston extender. It has the dimensions of 3x3x3 with a 27 block volume. So all you have to do is flick this lever right here, and you can see it extends extremely quick, and when we flick it again, it retracts almost just as fast. So let's get on with the tutorial. Okay, so we're going to start off with the 3x3 area with our pistons right in the middle of it. Then we're going to place our input block right next to the top piston with a lever of some sort on top. And then redstone dust right beneath it. Next you're going to place up 2 torches, just like so. There we go. You might get a quick pulse, that's okay. Then you're going to place a block here with a redstone repeater, a stick piston facing upwards with a block on its face, and then placing yet another block here with another repeater just like that. The block up like this, and then redstone dust right here, and then we can fill that in just like that. And now you can see if we flick this lever, it goes down, and it extends just as fast as the other one. In order to understand how both of these double extenders will work, you have to understand piston quasi-powering. Now what this is it's the bug in the game where a piston can be powered diagonally just like this. Now because nothing's changing immediately next to it, it will not realize as getting powered, but as soon as you give it an update, it will. Now we are going to use torches in this to do this, because they have the weird ability to update the piston diagonally just like so. So as soon as we flick this lever, it's going to strong power our input block. Now this input block does have to be strong powered in order to work. And the first thing it's going to do is it's going to extend this piston down like this. And then this redstone dust is going to turn on, which is going to extend this piston, which would then be here, just like that, getting your double extension. Let me just fix this up. Next, after 1 tick, this torch will turn off, which will turn off this repeater, which will cause this piston to retract. Nothing will happen special there yet. And then another tick later, this is adding up to 2 ticks, this torch will turn on. Now, when we shut off the lever again, this redstone dust will immediately turn off, immediately retracting the piston when it's in this position. But this one isn't, because it's getting quasi-powered by what will be this on torch for another 2 ticks, so that this piston has enough time to retract. And then this repeater is going to turn on, activate this monostable circuit, which is going to power this block right here, which is going to power this piston, which will have been retracted to pick up the last block. So we can see that happening right here. You see this torch turn on, now it's quasi-powering, it extends the pulse, and then you get a quick pulse out from here, which is powering this guy right there. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at this guy, our horizontal double piston extender. Like the other two, it has a volume of 27 blocks, which fits in the dimensions of 3x3x3. So let's test this thing out. We flick this lever, it extends extremely fast, and then we shut it off, and it retracts almost just as fast, just like this one. Okay, let's get to building this thing. So first we're going to start with our pistons right in the center, facing into our wall. Then we're going to come out 2 blocks, and we're going to place our input block just like this. I'm going to put a lever on here for now. And then you want to get a block right up here with a slab over here, place some redstone on this. On the bottom of our first piston, we're going to place yet another block. And then on top of our input block, we are going to place a redstone torch with a solid block on top and another redstone torch on the side of that. Next we're going to place a block next to our input block with a repeater running out of that into a sticky piston with a solid block on its face, which will run out into yet another repeater with a block in front of that. So now if we flick this lever, you see it extends and retracts extremely quick. So I'm going to explain exactly how this thing works. So as soon as you flick this lever, it's going to power this redstone dust, and then it's also going to climb up here, because redstone dust can climb up half slabs if you didn't know, and it's extremely useful. But it doesn't actually redirect this bottom piece of redstone dust, which means this is also pointing to this block, which will extend this one as well. So that's how we get our instant retraction. Again, we have the two torches to extend the pulse, just as we did in the last one, and we have the exact same monostable circuit, just like the last one. So this one's a lot simpler than the other one, if you ask me, but it's still really cool. And then there was one. So now we have come to our vertical double extender. Now I said that this was hyper fast, but I guess in reality it isn't, because the only way we can get this piston powered once it's extended is to power this block, and in order to do that we're going to have to use a torch. So the extension isn't as fast as these guys. It'll take one redstone tick longer, and because we can't power this the same way for the last extension and retraction, because this would get quasi powering this guy, we also have a slightly slower retraction. But seeing as this is as fast as you can get it, I figured we'd put it in here anyways. So just like the other ones, this is a 3x3x3 design with a 27 block volume, and as soon as we flick this lever, it extends. It still does extend very quickly, just not as quick as these guys. And when we retract it, you can see it's a little bit slow to pull in that last block, but it still does do it. So we're going to start building this just like the other guys. We're going to have our two pistons facing up into our floor, and we're going to place our input block diagonal from the top piston. This also needs strong power just like the other two. Then we're going to place a redstone torch on the side of it. Next we're going to come down here, place a temporary block, remove that, and then place some redstone dust just like this. And then we're going to place a solid block next to this, and underneath the torch, place a repeater, set that to 2 ticks, facing into a block, place some blocks just like this, with redstone dust right here, and then a torch on the same block that we placed our repeater on. Next we're going to come right around here, place a block, get a repeater, set it to 3 ticks, with a piston facing upwards with a solid block on that, and then a block coming out with a repeater on it set to 1 ticks, with facing into a block with redstone dust and a block right next to that. And now if we flick our lever, we should see we get our retraction, and then we get our extension again. So this one is a little simpler in just the way that works. So as soon as we it will be like this. As soon as we flick this lever again, this turns on, and because of the piston update order, this guy will actually get powered before this guy does. So this guy will extend, pushing this guy up, and then this torch will power the block above it, which would be this one, and at that point we would have the piston right up here, which gives us our double extension. Now at the same time, some power has gone right through here, and this torch will have turned on 2 ticks after this torch turned on, which gives us our pulse extension. Next we have it leading into a 3-tick repeater, which just has the correct timings for this monostable circuit to work correctly. So we can see that all happening. We see this torch has in fact turned on, and then when we retract it, you can't really catch it, but it does do that, and then you get your monostable circuit pulse.